And we are live. So yeah, we're just going live. I'm going to give a few minutes for people to come in. Just say hello in the comments if you're watching this. Just say hello if you're in Theta Traders. Say hello if you're just a subscriber to the channel. It always takes a few minutes for things to catch up. So we're looking now, and there's like a few people watching, but we're just going to give people time. I just sent out some messages on Discord and Facebook saying, guys, we're going live. And so we always want to give people time to join, right? Like there's always a lag between people getting messages and people joining. But it's also the summer, so people are tuned out of trading. Like you can tell from the volume in the trading rooms and things. So it's just definitely different at this point. So
it's always a little bit of a lull in the summer, and then once you get around August, September, it usually picks up. Yeah. But we did have about 9 or 10 right now. So welcome everybody.
It's a lot lower than normal though, so I'm not too surprised. But it is what it is. So we'll see how you guys go. So say hello in the comments, though, you guys. We'll answer any questions you have for us. It's actually nicer if there's less people because we can answer more questions. And I have a fixed deadline of about an hour from now because I have another appointment after this. So it's always good to.
This will be pretty quick, and we'll have time for questions as you guys have them.
Yeah, so for sure. So there'll be some people from Theta Traders that are already watching this. If you guys are watching this, what we're talking about tonight, you already have access to. So I wouldn't, panic and think that you're not, you're going to miss out on something. We're going to do basically a new service where it's basically a spin-off where we're just giving like a little sneak peek into the larger sort of like body of Theta Traders. And if you're Lifetime or one of these other services inside Theta Traders, you're going to get access to this service. So you can watch this webinar and you can ask us questions. It's a good time to do it, right? Ask Lance questions especially. But you're going to get access to the service. This is particularly aimed at people that are new to selling options that want a low cost, like a super low cost, or even free if you join our or take part in the prize draw that we're about to do. This is like an entry level into Theta Traders. If you are thinking about it, or if it's something it's on your radar, like this webinar could well help you like make that decision to finally be like, what, I'm going to join Lance. I'm going to like follow his trades. This is going to be the entry point for you guys. So I'm going to let Lance take over and just tell you guys that are maybe watching this now or on the replay who he is, what he's done, what he does. And I'm going to post while he's doing that. I'm going to post in the comments the link that you need to join, like the free prize draw, because I want you guys to have the chance to win a free subscription to this new once a week service inside thetatraders.com. So Lance, if you want to talk about your experience, what's going on with Theta Traders, I'll focus on the comments and things at the moment. So
sounds good. So I am a high school science teacher. Now I'm in the summer, so I've been spending a lot more time on Theta Traders trades and helping out members and whatnot. So I'm used to teaching people. I'm in my 19th year teaching high school science. Going to be doing chemistry this year. And a lot of my students are interested in what I do because I have numbers coming up all around. And I'm primarily an options seller. So the reason why I like to sell options is there's a very high probable chance of success if you set up trades a certain way. So if a stock is at, let's say, $150 a share, we could sell puts that are much lower than that, about $130, $120 a share, and you can make good income off this. So what's good about these type of trades is you don't need to know exactly what type of direction a certain trade will go. It could go up and you'll be perfectly fine. It could stay exactly where it is and you still win out, and even go down a little bit or a decent amount and you can still make some good profits. So I don't look for home runs. I'm not trying to get 50-60% a month on my trades, but I am looking for consistent growth on my accounts and have been showing that. A lot of Theta Trader members see exactly how much I'm consistently earning. In the last year and a half, I've only had one losing month, and that month was only down about 1.5%, while many other months have been making on average around 3.8% per month. So if you're starting out in option selling, this will be a really good opportunity to get your feet wet and get the most highly probable and best trades that I feel will be in a credit spread. So let me just quickly go over what a credit spread is. In that last example, let's say the stock is at 150 and you want to sell the 130 put. So you have a lot of room for the stock to move. It could go up the middle or down, up to 20 points, and you'll still win on the trade. The problem is if you sold 130 put by itself, options are 100 shares of stock, so you need 130 times 100 or $13,000 to actually sell the put, which is pretty capital intensive to do it that way. What I look for are credit spreads, and in a credit spread, we're going to be selling the same 130 put, but then we're also going to be buying usually a 125 put. I usually go 5 with. And what's good about that is it only needs $500 minus the amount of money that you're taking in on the trade. So a lot of the trades that you're going to be seeing in this new service, you'll be able to do for about $440, $450. So very small account friendly. And what's also really good about this is we typically look for around $60 to $70 of premium that we're going to take in on the spread. So if you're able to make that amount off the $450, you're looking at 12 or 13% on your money in typically about a month's time. What we want to do to make the trades even more highly probable and better chance of success is we'll close them out earlier. I typically look for around $30 or so off $450 in the trade. So then you're looking at around 6-7% on your money. And that typically will happen on average the last year and a half. It's taken about 12 days to get to those returns. And we're at about a 90% win rate on the individual spreads we give. So if you just think about it with the numbers, let's say you do the trade 100 times, 90 times out of 100, you'll be making that $30, $35. And the other 10 times, we will close out those trades because not every trade will work in our direction. But in those trades, we'll typically lose about $60 to $70. So if you're making $30 90 times out of 100, and you're only losing about $60 or $70 10 times, you have that positive expectancy, and you'll be able to grow your accounts very consistently that way.
Very cool. Yeah. So I'm just posting the links here for people to subscribe or at least enter the prize draw. So on the screen there, you'll see the page, Theta Traders Prize Draw. Enter for the chance to win a free annual subscription to Monday Super Spreads. So that's what we're talking about is basically spreads. So just like Lance said, if you want to have a chance of winning, if you're not already in Theta Traders, this is something you might want to try and do, right? Because everybody loves something for free. We're offering maybe one or two. We'll see. We're going to do a prize draw in the next half hour or so. So thought I'd just put that up there so you guys can see the thing. All you have to do is put your email in, and Lance is going to do a random pick. So, yeah. So I think that's awesome, Lance, given an overview of basically what we do in Theta Traders. I particularly love the future stuff that we're doing. That's really my my only my main thing that I do with you, that you've taught me how to do. And I've been super happy with it. Like I've told people, I've paid off my car with it. It's really so simple and easy, and it beats SPY. So it's fantastic. So hopefully people sign up for the prize draw. We're going to do a random number generator. So Lance is going to probably pick a number once we have enough people signed up for it. And if you're watching this, then you'll have a chance to win. Unfortunately, if you're not doing this in real time, like if you're watching the replay, you won't have a chance to win the free subscription. But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, we get that one a lot. I'm watching the recording, and then can I just pick a number there? I like to give back to the community. I help my own students that I teach during lunch. Sometimes I'll have some of my high school kids come in, and I'll show them the type of spreads that I'm doing, and I like to give away a free membership to this as well.
Ed saying I want you guys to disagree and fight. Yeah, that's been happening a lot in some of the communities. It's basically been drama central in Sidekick Traders recently. Luckily, Theta Traders is completely drama free. Everybody just takes the trades and enjoys themselves and yeah. Yeah, so Erin, like, don't worry, like she's saying basically, are the trades on Monday? Yeah. So what we're gonna do, and this is kind of interesting, it's pretty simple in its essence, is we're gonna take the put credit spreads that Lance gives out already, and we're gonna open it up to people who just want to dip their toes in the water. So people who are just like, I've heard of this, I kind of want to learn a bit more, but I don't want to spend $2,000 for a subscription or whatever. So Aaron, you already have access to this, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're basically going to give the Monday trade for the put credit spread to people that join this Monday super spreads. So they're only going to get, and I say only, but this is still fantastic. Like, you get one trade a week. So one thing I've noticed recently, and I review all of these different services, is people don't want complex. They don't want expensive in particular. They want good trades that work and take minimal effort and management. And so that's what Lance and I talked about. And like, we're going to focus on one single trade just on a Monday. It comes out inside Theta Traders. We made a new channel for it for you guys that sign up tonight for it. But the people that are already in Theta already get all of these trades plus a lot more. But we want people that just want one trade once a week that works 90% of the time, that takes almost no effort. And that's what we're looking for people. And that's possible. And it's easy to do when you know how. So you guys that are already in Theta that are watching this, do not worry. You've got access to this. And we have the question over and over. So yeah. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more, Lance?
I'm actually, let me walk through the actual trade I gave today. And if you want to, you guys can place this order tonight. Most likely will fill tomorrow at the market open. I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Aaron saying, can't we all just get along?
Right.
Yeah, we can. We usually can. All right, I'll share your screen. There we go. All right, so I'm going to make this full screen so people can see. And we're going to talk about the actual trade. So.
Do you see the TradingView link right now?
Yeah, I see TradingView up. I see Lux Algo or something on there.
All right. Yeah, there's Lux Algo in there. All right. So the trade that I did today, and I do these trades every day at 12:30 Central Standard Time. I'll be doing the Monday ones at that time when school year starts. It'll be at a very set time, so you don't have to worry about when the trade is going to be coming in. It'll be every Monday at 12:30 Central. Today we did the Microsoft put credit spread. So if you look at Microsoft right now, current price is around 452. And then if you see the green lines down here, this is where I sold the put credit spread. So what we did was I sold the 415 strike, and you can see that this is way below where the current price is. We're at almost 40 points out of the money, or almost 10% out of the money on Microsoft right now. So we sold the 415 strike, sold the put, and then we bought the 410 put. By doing this, you only needed about $500 minus the premium we received. You look at the Discord channel on right here. So let me go over how to actually read the trade. It's very straightforward. So the option trade was for Microsoft. We sold the 8/16 expiration date. And then it said very clearly, sell the 415 put. And you're just going to click the bid in your brokerage to sell the put. And then we're going to buy the 415 put. And then I also run a minimum amount of premium to receive for the trade. I get at least 0.5 premium. With options, they involve 100 shares of stock. So you'd be taking in $50 for this trade. You only need 500 for the width of the spread minus 50. So you only need $450 for the trade in order to get $50 or over 10% on your money, even though Microsoft is about 10% out of the money as well. I'll also write the price that I got to show transparency. The reason why I do this is I want you to get at least the minimum amount, so at least 0.5 or more. If you're busy and you see the trade an hour or two later, the premiums could change a little bit, but typically not dramatically because we are selling out pretty far out in time. This is almost a month out, or almost 2 months out, actually. And then I put a stock price. This is where we're going to get out of the trade if it goes against us. Stop at 1.7. So that's about 5 times the amount of the initial premium we got. And I also set an alert price. So you can leave an alert on your brokerage. If we go down all the way to 425, we're still pretty good considering we sold a 415 put. But if we hit the 425 price, that's when we'll either take a little bit more look at to the trade, or we might just close out of the trade. And then I get some information about the trade. The stock's at 453.23. The delta, this is the approximate percent chance that we'll actually get to that 415 price. The delta is 0.13, which means there's about a 13% chance we'll get down there. But that also means there's about an 87% chance that we won't get down there. And we also could increase the percent chance of working out by closing out the trade early. Typically I'll look for a $30, $40 gain on the trade, and that might take, an average of around 12 days. So the win rate will be pretty much around 90% on this trade. And then I'll give some information about why the support was at 447. We do have earnings coming up in 723, but we're very likely going to get out of the trade before that happens. So it's very straightforward in terms of how to actually enter and read the information on the trade. I'll quickly show you how to actually place the trade. This is on tastytrade. You can use tastytrade, thinkorswim, Robinhood, pretty much any brokerage account. So you're going to just type in Microsoft. And then if we go to the table here, double check, we were at 816. So we're going to go to the 816 expiration. And then we sold the 415 put. All you're going to do is click on the bid on the right side for 415. And then you go to the 410 and click on the ask right here. And then you have your spread here. You just set it up for at least 0.5. You should try to get more. And then if it doesn't fill, you can slowly go down $1 until we get filled on it. And then just send the trade away. And then I also go over exactly when to close it. Yes.
Lance, I don't mean to interrupt you, but sometimes one thing when I was first starting with spreads and with the sell side of things, what does 0.5 actually mean? So what are people doing here? Are they going to get $50, $500?
Yeah. Yeah, so for options, they always involve 100 shares of stock. So you're going to take the premium that you receive and times it by 100. So if I got 0.5 and you do 0.5 times 100, you'd be taking in $50 in premium on the trade.
Cool. So that's for one contract on each. You would take in $50. That sounds good.
Exactly. And these are easily scalable. You could do this with a lot more than just one contract if you have a bigger account. If you have a smaller account, this is very small account friendly. You only need about $450 to take the trade. And you're not going to be changing, the option premiums and prices on these. We look for very high volume, high open interest positions. Microsoft today had about 400 contracts that sold at that price. So we're not really manipulating anything or anything like that.
Cool.
Let me quickly show some of the sample trades that we do with put credit spreads. So if you look at the spreadsheet here, these are some sample trades that I did with the 5K challenge. This is where we're trying to grow a $5,000 account. And you can see the name and the symbol, date sold, expiration date. This is the price when the trade was taken. And then you can see the strike prices. If you compare these two columns, the numbers are usually pretty much lower than the original price because I want to look for highly probable trades that work out. And then we look at the premium that we collected. And then the outcome is where I close the trade. We've been on a really good run lately from the last about 15 trades. All of these actually profited out. And I typically look for at least $25, $30 on these trades. And they typically take about 12 days to actually work.
And that's one contract on each?
Yeah, that's one contract. You could easily scale it to multiple contracts if you'd like.
Okay, cool. Well, let's do a quick question and then we'll continue. I see some people are signing up for the free giveaway, so make sure if you haven't done that already, sign up for the Super Spread Price Draw because I think at 7 p.m. Central or 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do the, pick the winner. So if you haven't signed up for the links in the comments above here, I would sign up for that because we're going to do the prize draw in about 10 or so minutes. So make sure you sign up for that, because after that, we're not doing any more free giveaways. It's going to be talking about how you can buy this service, because it's fantastic. So let's do a quick question from Jeremy. He says, I currently have a 5K account, put credit spread access on Theta Traders. I love it. Will this get me more access, or are they the same trade? It's a good question. So let's address that.
Hi, Jeremy. So in the 5K challenge that we're currently in, we're going to be using up the 5K. That typically takes about 8 to 9 different spreads that we have. When we have all those 9 spreads, we're waiting until we close one out to enter in a new one. So some of these you might actually get if we happen to have funds available on that Monday. But if you don't have funds available on the Monday because we're using up all our available cash for the 5K challenge, you could enter in this trade on Monday as an addition for it. So I would say about half of them will be just extra put credit spread trades that you don't already see.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And it's pretty unusual to have such a high win rate, so 90% win rate, but also have a positive expectancy. I keep hearing this phrase, positive expectancy. And you know that I've talked about this. And yeah, Vishal, Inner Circle members get access to everything always. Like, we can, don't worry, we're not gonna, add extra things on. So,
right. If you're Inner Circle Lifetime, you already have access to these. So, but if you're a 5K member, you don't necessarily have all these trades. So this could be a good add-on if you're looking for more credit spread trades.
And you're gonna see how ridiculously low priced this is. So adding on extra trades, even if you're in the 5K challenge, which we had like 50 people sign up for in our last webinar, this will still be worth it because they're so easy and simple to follow. Like Hamad is saying here, saying Lance's trades are easy and simple to follow. And that's the beautiful thing about this trading is what Lance did. And I watched an interview, a preview of Lance and David Jaffe from beststockstrategies.com.
Yeah.
Basically, they were saying like what we do in Theta Traders and what I'm doing, following you guys, is we're beating the market even when it's a bull market, like really strong bull market. But when the market goes down, the strategies still produce income more than SPY alone. So like you have to kind of put this into perspective. These put credit spreads have defined risk reward, and they're mechanical and they're methodical, and they're not just like on some whim, Like, so I think if you're not used to them, you'll be completely shocked by like how easy they are to do, how little management's actually involved, which is the line point.
Just as a teacher, I'm going over pretty advanced chemistry concepts, and it's helpful to go over things in a very straightforward and easy manner. So I wanted to make sure I did the same thing with these credit spreads. So it's very clearly exactly what to click on. And you'll see video and ebook guides exactly how to enter these trades. And you can also ask me for help if you want. A lot of new members, when they're starting out, they'll send me a screenshot like, hey, did I enter this trade in right? And then I'll say, yes, it's right. Or make sure you sell this option instead of buy this option. And then most people get it within, a few days, honestly. It's very straightforward. And it's a really good way to start out in your option selling if you're not used to doing option selling techniques.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this webinar is focused at people that are looking to get started on their journey, right? And honestly, one of the best things that I did this last year and a half was to start listening to Lance and start taking some of these trades, and especially the futures trades. And we can talk about what Theta Traders has to offer if you guys are interested. But tonight I wanted to basically give you an introduction to the deal that we're doing. And this is something we've never done before. So in the industry, basically the standard is you want good quality customers that are going to continue to keep, like, they're going to give you a good, you give them good value and they give you good pay in exchange. So a lot of people will charge like $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, even $10,000 I've seen. But tonight, like, what I want you guys to be able to do is, if you've been sitting on the fence for a while and you've like, I like what Lance says, I like what he does. People are talking, saying really nice things about what Lance does. We want to give you the absolute minimum price for a yearly subscription that we're possibly able to give you that even makes any sense. I mean, we will lose money on this, guaranteed. At least Lance will, because Lance will probably give you more help than, per hour for this. I know what it's like. People sign up for these things and Lance helps them like one-on-one. and this cost is going to be so low, like it's ridiculous. So we're hoping that you guys will jump on this and people will see the value in what we're about to offer you guys. So yeah.
Right.
So let's take some questions. Are they all put credit spreads, or do you do call credit spreads also? That's a good question.
I'm more long-term bullish on the U.S. economy, so I look for put credit spreads, and this service will all be the put credit spread side. If the market takes a huge downturn and we're in a raging bear market where everything's going crazy, then I will consider some call credit spreads. But with the market doing so well and a lot of these trades, we're going really far out of the money anyway, where you don't have to be so bullish. I'm just going on the put credit spread side. We do some call side type trades in the futures account for Inner Circle, but these will be just very straightforward put credit spreads.
Cool. Should we do a walkthrough of the Theta Traders website just before we do a prize draw in the next 5 minutes? Does that sound like something?
Yeah. Right. Do you want to share your screen on that?
Yeah, if I can figure out. I'm really tired. I've had a long day, but let me see if I can figure out how to share the Theta Traders thing, just so you guys can see overall like what we offer. So I'm just gonna hit present, share screen. So yeah, here we go. So you guys should see the thetatraders.com website. Is that what you're seeing, Lance?
Yeah, that's it.
I'll make it full screen. All right, so this is thetatraders.com. So for you guys that are not familiar with it, basically it's all selling options and futures and options on credit spreads and all this type of stuff. We have all these different membership tiers. It's become pretty complex, to be honest. Like we have what we call like safeguard trades, consistent profit trades, quarterly trades. And so I want you guys to go and check out thetatraders.com and see what there is to offer. What we're going to offer tonight, though, is lower than even the lowest of the tiers at the moment, which is $197. We're going to offer something tonight that's even lower, like significantly lower than that. So definitely keep watching or enter that prize draw to get entrance to this, because we realize that people want something that is really low cost at the moment, partly because of inflation, right? Like the U.S. economy has been pretty horrendous, and people are wanting to make extra money, but they don't want to spend $1,000 on a service. Not that I'm saying that something like consistent passive profits is not worth $11.97. I've made 10 times that within the last few months. So this type of payment is well justified, in my opinion. So we have these different tiers. My favorite, like I said, is the whole lifetime, which is usually about $2,000. We split it into payments and things, though. So for the more expensive services, we do split into payments. We try and work with people as best we can for that type of stuff. So if you want to do the whole like shabam, like this is where you want to be. You want to be doing the future strangles, the future puts, the iron butterflies, the crude oil trades. I love those. The hot commodity trades, all fantastic trades, all winning for the last 2 years from what I've seen in my portfolio as well. So this is thetatraders.com. If you want free training, there's all these different things here you can check out as well. Like I'm a big advocate of win 90% of your trades. So definitely check that out as well. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of the free prize draw period. So Lance, do you want to chat a little bit here, and I'll just like start looking at the spreadsheet for who's entered on the free prize draw, and we can
all right, yeah, you can set that up. So again, at thetatraders.com, I can sell options to make consistent premiums. I'll do that with stocks on the credit spread side, and the Monday credit spreads will be one trade once a week on those. For other people that are in Inner Circle Lifetime or quarterly members, we do 0DTE pretty much every day, where we sell that expire the same day. We also look at different futures trades. So we sell a lot on MES or ES. Those are the SPX, SPY equivalents, and we use naked puts and safeguard trades where we have built-in hedges with it. We also look at different commodities like oil, gold, copper, and we sell premiums based on that. So we do individual stocks for the spreads, and then we go into the different indices and commodities for the futures and different accounts like that. Also, on thetatraders.com, you could always ask me any questions. I'm readily available to help you guys. I get questions that are very straightforward, like am I setting up this trade correctly, and some more detailed ones. So someone today asked me, why did I do the Microsoft trade? And I gave reasons why and elaborated a bit more. So we get a big round of people. We have very good community right now. It's about 320 members, I think, last I checked. So a lot of different people and all different abilities. We have some brand new people that are very new to option selling, all the way up to people that have been doing this for many years, and they just like to hear my input, or take my trades, or maybe tweak the trades a little bit based on what their risk and return preferences are.
Very cool. So I'm just uploading the entries now. So it's closed officially for the prize draw. And so I'm just checking out like the spreadsheet, and then I'm going to have Lance do like a random number generator, and we're going to pick out a winner for the prize draw. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about things like how much capital do you need? Like everybody always asks, like, can you do this with a small account? Is it worth it? All that kind of thing as well. So stick around for sure. So we had very few entries into the prize draw. So that means you have a good chance of winning if you were in the prize draw. This is strange to me. So when we do these normally, we have 50 to 100 people. And today we've had 19 people enter the prize draw. So it's definitely a summer thing. Like people are tuning out of trading. So you have a 1 in 19 chance of winning this subscription to this new service called Monday Super Spreads. And so, Lance, if you could do just the number between, actually it's 18 because the top line is like the headers and stuff. So if you do a number between 1 and 18, we'll announce the winner for the free prize draw for Monday Super Spreads, and then we'll open it up to people that are potentially wanting to join.
All right. Do you want to share my screen? I have the number generator ready.
All right. Yeah, let me just check. So right here. All right, on you go. So number 10, is that the number?
I didn't click it yet, so let me click join you first. All right, ready?
Yep, go for it. And I'll
get a little drum roll here. 3, 2, 1, and number 9.
Number 9. Okay, cool stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my spreadsheet here, and I'm going to go to line number 9, and then I'm going to give I'm going to post in the comments here, but I'm going to X out most of the things so that people don't give away their information here. So let me just copy paste this email address that is associated with that. I'm going to tell you straight away, the first name is Mark. So if you're Mark and you're watching this, you've won a subscription to the Monday Super Spreads, and you're at hotmail.com, and you have an M and a D. A D is the end of your email address. So I'm not going to bother posting it. We're going to get in contact with you. If your name is Mark and you have a Hotmail address with the letter D at the end of your email address, you've just won a subscription free for a year to the Super Spread. So completely free, no cost whatsoever. So well done to you. Good job for entering. I hope you're still watching. If you're still watching, can you say, it's probably me in the chat or something like that? Because sometimes like people just disappear and we're not sure if they're still watching or whatnot. But so it's Mr. Mark, and your last name starts with K, and your email address starts with M, ends in D, and is at hotmail.com. So you just won the free subscription to the Monday Super Spread. So well done on that. And Lance or I, or both of us, will reach out to you regarding that, because I think you're going to really enjoy what we have to offer here. So well done to you if you are Mr. Mark. So yeah.
Sounds good. Russell, you want to send a link for anyone else that wants to sign up?
Yeah, so let's get to the business here. So you guys that are looking to sign up for the service, it's going to be, and this is what I really like, and it's what I personally am doing like all the time now, is I'm signing up for services that are high quality, once a week, basically one single trade a week, and that actually work, right? Because I'm tired of these services that charge $2,000. You have 10 trades a day and you can't take any of them, and they all fail miserably. So what we're doing on this basically is called, like, we're calling it Monday Super Spreads, right? Is we're just sending out one trade. And so I'm going to share my screen with the particular exact order form here. So let me just get it set up. And so what I think people need and want at the moment is this high quality, low management trade style. So we're calling it Monday Super Spreads. It's only $99 for an entire year. Think about that, for an entire year. That's like a good meal out, right? So it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you and your wife go out for a meal in these days, like $100. That's gone. These trades work 90% of the time. They have a positive outcome, so they have a positive profit factor over the last 2 years. And so you basically get access to Lance, who, will give you help, when you need it. I can give you some help, but not particularly on these trades. On the future stuff, I do a lot better. So this is the order form right here. I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat so you guys can just sign up for it. I mean, it's a no-brainer at $99. Like it's like an absolute no-brainer. So here it is right here. We're going to talk about what exactly you get. And again, if you're in Theta Traders, you're most likely got access to this, except the 5K people may want to actually check this out as well, because it's simplifying. And that's what we're finding is simple is better in this market. And just for people in general, like you're busy, I'm busy. I don't want to be taking 10 trades a day. I want to take 2 trades a week, maybe 1 a day, 1 a week. It varies a lot, but I don't want to be managing things. And these are set and forget it trades, right? Right, lads? So like you can set these and you can basically forget about them. You don't have to sit there and watch the market. You don't have to sit there and manage them, like micromanage the trades. And that's what makes these things so powerful.
Yep, I just enter the trade in 12:30 Central Standard Time every Monday, and then I'll tell you guys when I close it, and you can close at the same time as me if you'd like. Some members will try to get a little bit more income from it, but you can easily just follow when I follow it. I check my spreads once a day. I see what the profit is, and then I just click get rid of it.
Yeah. And so if you're tired of these services where you can't get access to, like you can't get into the trade alert, for example, or every trade you miss is the winning trade, this is the solution. So this is the solution to your issues with most services, right? So most services, they'll send an alert out, you'll miss it because you're busy at work, and then you're screwed. That'll be the huge winning trade. This service is different, and this is what I really love about Lance's services is you can enter these, and you can generally enter them at your leisure, right? Like you can generally get in these things really, really like chilled out, and they usually work. 90% of the time they work. So you don't have to have this fear that you're only going to like win 50% of your trades, and you have to rely on this idea that, the 50% that work have to be huge winners. This is different. This is where you basically just chill out, you enter a trade, and you make money from it 90% of the time. 9 out of 10 work, which is crazy. So you're getting a single high probability credit spread every single Monday posted in the Discord channel. So this is on Discord. It's inside the Theta Traders platform as a whole. You don't get access to the whole of Theta Traders, obviously. There's a lot of really amazing stuff in there. You only get access to this particular channel. But you also get a community chat within that Discord. So you get the alert channel, and you get access to the community chat within the Discord to discuss those trades, but also any other trades you're thinking of doing and all that kind of stuff. There's lots of detailed guides to help you understand these types of trades. So if you're new to particular strategies like this particular strategy, there's guides on that. And basically, it's a way to become consistently profitable with very minimum work. And I know that sounds like a scam. You're like, oh, it's get rich quick. Don't do anything. No, you do have to do stuff, but it's very minimal and it's very, very passive. And it's one of the best ways I've found to make money. I've been doing this for years. So
right. Again, these trades, I'm going to say the minimum amount to take in on the trade. So if you're busy working and you can't take the trade on Monday, you could easily take it on Tuesday and get at least that minimum amount that I put in. Sometimes you might even get more if the market drops a little bit from where I entered the trade. Again, I show what I get filled in on all these trades as well. It'll always be a higher number than the minimum amount. And if you get filled on that minimum amount, you'll still do really well. And then after that, you just wait until the theta decays it. If you're closer to expiration and the market didn't move much, it's going to be worth less than what you sold it at. So essentially, you're selling first at a high price, and then you're going to be buying it back at a lower price afterwards. Ken is asking how all the alerts go out. So we made a dedicated channel on the Discord for this. And you can set up your Discord where you get phone notifications. So you'll see exactly when the trade comes out. And I'm very consistent on it. It'll be at 12:30 Central Standard Time every day, every Monday as well. And you can just fill it out as you see it.
Yeah, and it's only $97. And I promise you, if you guys do a couple of these, you'll fall in love with them the same way that I did. And I think it's something that is something you should add to your arsenal, even if you're a purist where you're just like, I'm going to buy options, I'm going to, do this. I think following these sell side trades is like the way to go. Like it really is. And like if you're beating the market when it's positive and then you're beating it when it's negative, you have nothing to lose at this price point. So that's what we kind of wanted to give you guys today. We've never given this type of low end deal away before. We almost always do like $1,000 or $2,000 because Lance is worth it. Lance is an expert in this. He mentors people. He gets on Zoom calls with people. He really helps people a lot. And so we've usually dealt in high-end products or higher, I would say mid-range. Like I wouldn't say high-end, but like mid-range products. And so we wanted to give people the chance to just want to dip their toes into this and be like, you know what? I've heard so much about Lance. I've heard so much about theta traders. I really want to try this. Well, here's your chance, $97. It's pretty much nothing, right? It literally is nothing.
Like less than $2 a trade, and you'll easily make it back in a lot of the trades that we do.
Right. And so by integrating into the Theta Traders community, you'll also get access to things like special deals on Lifetime, for example. If you want to start upgrading, if you like this service, then you could always start to look at the other trades we do where I paid off my car last year with the futures trades. We put credit towards that if you're part of the community. So there's lots of advantages to getting your foot in the door on Theta Traders because you'll start to get the hang of these things. You'll start to realize how powerful they are. And you'll start to get like into a community of people who are making money doing all sorts of stuff, ranging from futures trades to selling naked puts on equities, but selling naked puts on futures options. So it's really getting your foot in the door here. And that's what we're really wanting in this webinar is people to come and join us, get in with the community, and get started on this stuff. Because for me, I spent literally 8 years just ignoring this stuff, thinking it wasn't worth it. And that was the biggest mistake I've made in my entire trading career is ignoring and putting off starting this style of trading. So I don't want you guys to miss out on that. So that's a big part of why we're offering this at such a low price. So $97 for a whole year, access to these put credit spreads on Mondays. And it makes no sense not to do it, right? You're going to come out positive on this, in my opinion. Is that
a few additional things you'll get, by the way. I show you a guide on exactly how to enter the trades in. I also go over some allocation strategies. So if you have a certain size account, how many contracts to actually take in. So a small account, you should probably do one contract. But if you want to scale up with a larger account, I show exactly how many contracts to enter in. And then exactly when I look to close out the trades. And you'll also be notified when I close these out as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And so if you want more than one trade a week, I know a lot of people are like, well, one trade a week is not very much. Part of me says, okay, sure, that makes sense. But part of me is like, okay, right, maybe you want some more. Well, I'll post a link here where we actually do a lot more trades in the small account challenge. So I've just posted the link in the comments here. Basically, Lance, you're doing a lot more in the small account challenge. It's also very, very low cost, but it's a little bit more expensive than one trade a week. So did you want to maybe some comments about that? Yep.
Yeah, so in the 5K challenge, they're going to be similar type of spreads, just like you'll see on the Monday spreads. It's going to be the same type of outlook on looking at very highly probable trades, very far out of the money, and you'll get more of these on the 5K. So if you have a $5,000 account, you're going to be using those funds to be taking in trades. So we'll be doing like up to 10 trades as you have $5,000 in there. As it scales up, we'll do even more trades. So if you want to see more credit spreads than just once a week, you could usually join up for that service. And that one gives you lifetime access to it. There's also additional guides. We also track how we're doing on our accounts as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. So just ask us any questions you want. We're not going to spend a lot more time on this because I think it's summertime. People are not super tuned in, not seeing very many questions whatsoever here. But if you're interested, the links are in the comments here. And I'll send out a couple of emails if you're on my email list with some additional information and stuff here. We're definitely seeing a reduction in people's interest in trading over the summer, which is kind of sad because I've been making more money. I made more money in June with Theta Traders than I've ever made in any month ever with any service. So it's kind of sad that people are tuning out over the summer. Like usually it's, sell in May, go away type of thing. But this June has been fantastic for me. And I'm guessing the same thing goes for you.
Yeah, it's very good time. It's like with the volatility not that high right now, very easy to go pretty far out of the money and just let them decay out. Ken is asking, are these like 0.02 delta trades? No, we're going to go a little bit more than that. Typically, we look for at least $50 on the trade for a 5-whip trade. So you're going to be taking in about 10% return on your money. And that's if you hold the trade until expiration. I find it more efficient and a little bit better growth rate if you close them out a little bit earlier. So you could take the 10% in about a month, or you could close them out at around 6 or 7% in about 12 days, which if you just do the math on that, you'll be winning more trades that way because you're closing them out earlier, and you'll be able to scale up your accounts a little bit better.
You're not going to make $1. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, that's just ridiculous. I mean, like I hope you're joking, Ken, because like $1. I mean, come on, no. Like we beat SPY almost every single month, even if it's going up, and if it's going down, we really beat SPY. So I wouldn't worry about the profits in terms of that. So you can see from Bill's comment here is the alerts from Lance are detailed and well worth it. Should make your money back within a couple of trades, if not before that, basically. So yeah.
Appreciate that, Bill. And Bill's a very useful contributor to the group. He puts in a lot of his other trades as well and gives a lot of information. So definitely like having Bill and others that are very helpful in our community.
Yes, a trading history is available, Mr. Ken Lumley. We have a spreadsheet which shows every single trade for like the last 2 years, right? We were going to show it on here, but it's kind of dry to show it. But if you reach out to Lance via email from the Theta Traders website or whatever, he'll show you everything you need to know. It's a winning strategy. We're not bullshitting here. Like this is real stuff. It wins and it works.
Yeah, on thetatraders.com on the website, it has the 2023 data of every credit spread that we did for the year. And if you want, you could email me. I'll send you the 2024 spreadsheet as well.
Yeah, sure. All right, cool. Any other questions? Because we've done the price draw. We've told you what you can get. We're offering a ridiculously low price service to get your foot in the door on thetatraders.com. If you have any other questions, you can always go to thetatraders.com. Let me just post the actual URL in here. Sometimes people, don't get around to it. So https thetatraders.com. And you'll see that all the other services there are so much more expensive. So we're really trying to get people in here who, maybe you've thought about this and it's something that you really want to try, but you don't want to spend $1,000 on. I've seen sites that charge. I mean, I don't mean to be like derogatory to some people, but like there's people, competitors as you call them, who are charging $300 a month for stuff like this. And so, and Lance knows what I'm talking about, right? Like, there's people out there. So Eric says, I just got in. I'm excited for some passive income. I promise you, Eric, you're not going to be disappointed in this. I really think you've made the right decision joining. I hope that what happens over the next few months for you is you talk to Lance, you talk to myself, you talk to other members, and you're like, hey, I want more of these. These are working. They're positive expectancy, as they keep saying, and like this whole thing where it's like it's basically profit factor, right? And so basically what I think is going to happen, Eric, is you're going to love these, and you're going to find out that there's so much more out there than I'm not sure what your experience is, but you're going to find out there's so much inside data traders that you're going to want more of this stuff. And for me, it's the futures trades. Those are like I put off the futures trade stuff for so long, right? Remember, Lance?
Years.
Futures is nonsense. Yeah, I'm making thousands of dollars a month doing freaking nothing. And even in down markets, I'm doing nothing and making thousands of dollars. And it all started with getting to know Lance and getting to know these style of like more simple trades on equities, and then going from there. So,
yeah, and if you join this, I do pretty occasionally, a few times a year, I'll give a 7-day free trial to everybody that's in Data Traders and show all the trades that I do. So I'll show all my futures trades, additional credit spreads, 0DTE. I just do that at random times in the year. So a lot of the members that are not in the inner circle, they could get a taste of what they see. So you will see some additional trades. We'll open that up to a new 7-day trial in about a month or so, once we get a lot of members in here.
So just to clear a few things up, these are trades on credit spreads on equities, so on stocks. And so they come out via Discord. So hopefully you guys are familiar with Discord. It's become so popular over the last few years. And basically all you have to do is you can get push notifications on your phone. You can have the app for Discord. And it's basically super easy to get alerts on your desktop, on your phone. Like it's not hard. Sometimes it takes a little bit fiddling to get things working. But once you've got it working, you can get them basically mobile app. It's easy. It's one of the best platforms ever in the history of stock alerts. I remember before Discord came along, you had to set up these fancy platforms and do text messages and things. You don't need that anymore. You can get it all via the Discord app on your phone or on your push notifications on your desk or your laptop type thing. So Tony's asking, can alerts to trade stocks? It's not actually the stocks. It's spreads it's option spreads on the stocks that we're doing here.
Right. So every Monday, we're going to be doing a different stock, and we're going to be selling a credit spread against that position.
Right. A
few more minutes if there's any other final questions. Again, very low-cost service, and we get that high conviction trade once a week. You can also ask me any questions as you have them on the spreads. And if you want more than one trade, you could join that 5K challenge. We did reopen it up. So if you're interested in more than one trade a week, you could sign up for that one.
How many are you doing on the 5K challenge, Lance? I've not been following it too much because I've been so...
we do about 8 or 9 at this point, just because we have to make sure that we're using all of our allocations that we have. And then as the account grows, we're going to be doing more.
So I just posted another link to that challenge where you get a lot more of these alerts. So you have a choice, the $97, which is the one a week, and that's honestly a fantastic deal. You won't find anything better. Or you can do the more, the service which has a bit more, which is what I just posted right here. Or you can go to datatraders.com, speak to Lance, speak to myself, and we can get you set up with something that suits your needs a bit more. We do payment plans for the more expensive services. So if you really want to get into the futures, for example, like we do payment plans, and it's kind of at our expense because payment plans, like there's always a certain percentage of people would just go, oh, I'm going to.
Yeah.
And still get access. It's like, no. But you guys, if you want to do that, just make sure you pay your actual payment plan or it gets me grumpy.
Yeah, and we're very flexible. As long as you're paying in the payment plan that we offer, like we're good about it. So if you want to do one of the higher price services, feel free to send us a message.
Yes, I think we've covered everything. Like, if you want to get involved, you can get involved. I highly, highly recommend it. I think it's the single best move you can make if you're buying options in 2024. I think the single best move you can make is to start doing spreads or selling options with Lance on thetatraders.com. I really think, and I believe that 100% in that it's the way to go if you want to make passive income, because you don't have to micromanage the positions. You don't have to worry about missing trades. Like, we all know what happens, right? You join a service, you issue 5 trades a day, you miss the one profitable one, you get into the 4 other ones that have, that are losers, and then you get mad and cancel and want a refund. This is completely not that. So, all right, so Tony,
Tony, credit spreads are, again, very straightforward. If you have any brokerage account, will allow them. You just have to ask for options approval. Robinhood, Thinkorswim, tastytrade. There's a lot of different brokerages you could use. And then you just ask for options approval to get credit spreads. And then you're just simply selling a put and then buying a put below it. So I made this as the most straightforward type of trade that we do here. And even beginners will be able to do this, within a day or two. And, once you join, just send me a message and I can walk through with you exactly how to enter the trade and how to actually make sure you do it right.
And I empathize with you, Tony, because like I said, for 8 years or 10 years even of my trading career, I just disregarded spreads. I'm like, that's complex nonsense. I don't know what that is. But it's really simple when you just talk to somebody like Lance or you get in with the right service. It's really simple. You buy one and you sell one at the same time. That's it.
Right.
It's not rocket science. But I totally get it. I was the same. I thought it was just nonsense. I used to make jokes about iron condors. I used to make jokes about butterflies, all this weird nonsense that I thought it was, until I learned better. And I think everybody eventually evolves to this type of trading. It's just how quickly do you get there, right? It's how quickly do you make that transition from simple buying to actual more sophisticated trades that are actually pretty straightforward. So yeah. Okay, Eric has a question. Right. Do you need a margin account? That's a good question.
Yeah, you're going to need a margin account in a brokerage in order to do these. Typically, you'll need about $2,000 in your brokerage, and then you can start selling spreads. You just ask for a margin account and then the options approval. I did this with Webull a few years ago, and they approved it within 2 minutes after actually clicking it. So Webull, Robinhood are good ones to use. I personally use Thinkorswim. They have a little bit more robust access to different types of trades, but you could do those on any brokers that I'm aware of allow spreads there. Yeah, and Bill makes up a great point as well. So it is a good education. You get access for me for the cheapest plan that we have. And I've been doing this for many years. So if you're just curious about how option spreads and how selling options work, this is a very affordable plan in order to do that.
Yeah, and it's kind of terrifying because when we ran the small account challenge, we got so many people signing up, and they've all learned so much from Lance for so little, that it's kind of scary running such a low-cost deal. But we want to do it because it's the summer. You guys can get a really good deal on this, and I think it can change your financial life if you're not already ingrained in this type of trading. Like Bill says, $8 a month. It's crazy low. Like this, literally, don't go to Starbucks and you paid for Lance's time to help you with types of trades. I mean, it's insane. But people will still just be like, nope, I can't make 100% a year doing this, so I'm not going to do it. And I think that's a real mistake right there. So, yeah. So I'm going to post the link to join the super spreads, so the Monday super spreads, one more time. And then I think we're going to wrap up if there's no more questions. Like I said, I have an appointment after this. Unfortunately, I have so many freaking doctor appointments. My wife is pretty chronically ill, and we actually have one in half an hour, so I can't spend the whole time on this call. So here's the link. If you want to sign up, honestly, it's probably going to be the best decision you make financially, in my opinion. And this is coming from somebody who bought and sold options. just bought straight calls and bought straight puts for like a decade. And then Lance really turned my trading around for the better. So yeah.
Right.
So Ken has another question. What's a typical possible yearly goal? I've seen 40% banded around, 30%, 50%.
Yeah, obviously it depends on what happens with the market and our trades. But if you're taking in about 6% or so in 90% of the trades, and you're going to stop out on 10% at about 12, 15% loss. So in the end, you could end up getting anywhere between 20 to 40% a year. It's hard to say the exact numbers on that.
It's a good question, though, because you can tailor these. If you want to take a bit more risk, you could go a little bit higher delta. So you can adjust Lance's trades and be like, you know what? I'm okay going a little higher delta, so a little less chance of winning, but a much bigger return. So you can tailor this. There's people that, like, one extreme example is Jason Bond from Raging Bull. He'll do really high delta trades, and he'll turn 2,000 into 30,000 in a few weeks. But there's always the chance he'll lose it all straight away.
Yeah.
So there's what Lance suggests, which I believe is the best way to do it. But you can also tailor these trades once you learn the basics from Lance and from the community. You can tailor them to what you feel is best for you. If you're okay with a little bit more risk, you can get more reward. So you can go from 20 or 30% return a year to 40, 50, even 60% return if that's the way you want to go. But you're going to have to sit through a little bit more of probably uncomfortable drawdowns, for example. I prefer the opposite. I prefer like just no drawdowns, just super chilled, totally passive, using significant capital. But there's some people that maybe want the opposite. They want a little bit higher risk, higher reward. So you can tailor these trades very easily once you learn how the basics work from Theta Traders or from Lance.
All right. All right, we got to get going, guys. So any other last questions, feel free to send me an email at lancekaminsky@gmail.com, or you could contact on the thetatraders.com form. Okay?
Apparently, Ken is in, and be gentle. We'll try our best, Ken, okay?
Yeah, sounds good, Ken.
All right, guys.
Anyone
Thanks for all your questions tonight. We're not going to see a market crash. We're going to see volatility increase into the elections because of the uncertainty.
Right.
We might see a bit of a pullback because the market's up like 30% or something. So we'll see. We're not going to see a huge market crash. Like, even if you do, these trades don't fail miserably. They still perform well. So we're not worried. I'm not worried, at least.
Right. All right, guys. Have a good rest of the evening. Again, leave us any contact if you have any other questions.
All right. Thanks again, Lance. And thanks again, guys, for watching. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys. Have a good rest of the day.